The magic that happens when you close your eyes and meditate, first thing that happens is you become very sensitive. Sensitive to what is good, what is bad. You are easily able to pick up and implement that in real life. Well, there are many situations we remain merely witnesses. Even when political powerful people cannot change certain flow of events, how are we going to change it? Unless, of course, each human being has developed to that level of evolution. Only then that's going to happen. When even in a small family, you have so many differences of opinions, and just on drop of a hat, you are able to divorce the person for whom you were crying once upon a time. To me, all these small episodes are another example that how humanity is drifting away because of selfishness, greed. Greed is on top of the list. More than greed, there is ego, they playing havoc. Moment you have difference of opinions, even with the loved ones, even with your own son or daughter, you get headache. You may not shout at them, but you go into some sort of a questioning attitude. Why my son is behaving like this, or why my daughter or daughter-in-law is behaving like this. So this friction, they are the results of two fundamental things. Ego clash, and you can see Putin. You don't have to be a spiritual person to analyze his psychology. The moment you look at his face and what you see is the freaking ego. Similarly, the desires, overwhelming desires amongst the family members, one pulling in one side, another pulling on another side. And these both are due to lack of understanding, lack of wisdom, lack of foresight. And all this can be overcome simply by trying to understand what is the purpose of my existence? Why am I here? Where am I going? Am I contributing something towards my evolution, towards my destination? When we exercise all these things, then all the unnecessary baggage, unnecessary activities will drop off. See, this is very easy to talk, but you explain this to a person who is not interested in spirituality, they would think, oh, you are just theoretical, you are just philosophical. They don't make any sense out of it. When we meditate with closed eyes, many people question, what are you contributing to the society with your closed eyes? How to explain such things? The magic that happens when you close your eyes and meditate, first thing that happens is you become very sensitive. Sensitive to what is good, what is bad. You are easily able to pick up and implement that in real life. Even in the business world, what I should be doing, what I should not be doing. All those things come up. In relationship also, in family life too, meditation teaches us, first of all, how to accept each other. Forget the word tolerance. Tolerance is a boring word. See? Imagine you telling your wife, honey, I tolerate you. She will not like it. But the moment you say, I love you, I accept you the way you are, it's a greater level of understanding and it shows your character. So acceptance is the key again. But how are we going to perceive all these things unless and until you are sensitized through meditation? See? So we offer meditation and that too at no charge. All are welcome. Nobody will be charged ever for this heartfulness way of meditation.